Hello. Welcome into the Eric St. Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Closed my fitness ring yesterday. That's 2 days in a row. That needs to happen. The fitness ring. That's like when I walk with my phone, this little thing says, hey, you did it. You went, you did, you know how kind of like you have your Apple, what is it called? iWatch? Apple Watch. And it tells you how many, I don't have the Apple Watch, but my phone tells me. And now the new thing, it's such a ridiculous set of circumstances with me and how my mind will focus on doing nothing but eating shit and getting fat for a period of time. And then for a period of time, I will, I gotta turn that around. I gotta stop doing that. And then I start to behave, but it doesn't take long until I'm not behaving. I think I have some type of food addiction. Now I in addition to eating everything in sight, I eat it like fast and like a freaking wolf eating like prey. Oh. And this is really getting on under my skin. It's really starting to affect me mentally. And I don't like looking at myself nude anymore. I used to really get turned on by me. And now I'm like, God damn it. This is just fucking stupid. You fat fuck. So yesterday I'm like, all right. Never quit quitting. I can do this. Tyler says, do you growl at people if they get near you while feeding? So, yesterday hold on a second. Darla needs to get on the couch. It's nap time. Hey! Oh, no, come here. Come here. No. No. You see, she thinks Diana's here, so she wants to be with Diana, but Diana's leaving for work, you know. Can't do that. So, Sunday, close my fitness ring. Happy about that. She gets down. Darla gets down. You know what? Go ahead and do whatever you want. Pee on the floor if you have to. I don't care. I'm doing the show. I don't want to be bothered by this. Then yesterday, it's 150 degrees out here. I'm like, fuck that. I'm closing my fitness ring. I think my fitness ring is set at, it's like a certain number of steps, certain number of miles, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to close my fitness ring, and I've got to at least act somewhat reasonably. Baby steps. Okay? I'm not going to go have a kale smoothie yesterday, but just take it easy. Get done with the podcast. Now, this is where I get in trouble. Like, okay. Now it's time. And I'm like, I resist the urge, and I go, I'll make a nice bowl of oatmeal. And I didn't want to just eat the oatmeal. That's super boring. So I put a little sugar in it, no big deal. Little pat of butter. All right, that's it. And it says right on the bowl or right on the box. One bowl, you're good till lunch. I go, okay, great. And this actually is my lunch. Okay, awesome. And then I don't eat a damn thing. And I go, you know what? It's time to close my move ring, my fitness ring. So I went out, and it was so damn hot. Oh, my God. But I ran. I was like, Jesus. And I can feel like I'm so heavy for me. My knees and my ankles and my hips as I'm running all that high impact it's like, it's a lot of aches and pains. But it's okay. Just keep going. You'll regulate yourself. It's fine. So that happens. Get that done. It's fucking 100 degrees. Fitness ring close to being closed already. Now, Doug over at Bosco said, "Hey, I need you to come in. Can you come in? And I go, yeah. Hey, you know what? Absolutely. Call me." I head over to Bosco's 3 p.m. And so the fitness ring is going to be closed. No doubt about it. But then I'm like, okay, now I'm faced with this dilemma. At the end of the night, Doug is going to say to me, all right, because you can't leave without him sending you home with food. All right, what are you eating? I'm like, now during the day, I'm like, okay, I'm starving. I get there to the restaurant and it's like 3:00. And there's certain things I have to do to help him open the restaurant. And I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. And Doug is not one that is like, gives you a hard time if you graze while you're working. Like if you're making, a bunch of bacon for hamburgers and or whatnot, some of the other recipes, and you eat bacon, he didn't care. He'd rather you have a snack or if hey, grab a big piece of American cheddar cheese. Ow. So, first thing I do, piece of cheese. All right, that's 100 calories. Darla, what are you doing? Shut up. Damn it. Then, a couple pieces of bacon. The bacon's so good. Holy shit. So I'm like kind of grazing. And then Doug makes a bunch of French fries. He says, all right, buddy, here you go. Oh, shit. Now, I can get away. All I want to do is run a deficit. I want to be burning more during a day than I am bringing in. But that gap is closing quickly as I just scarf the fucking fries with this honey mustard. And it's like, oh, Jesus, so good. So I think at the end of the day, I got about kind of in balance, but it definitely is not as bad as some of the other days where I'll have like 6 bowls of Cocoa Puffs or something like that. But then, so getting ready to finish up the night. And he goes, all right, it's time to send you home with some food. What do you want? Now, if I said nothing, he'd get pissed. So I'm like, okay. Quesadilla. I make a quesadilla. And then, like, I'm driving home, and it's sitting next to me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I want to eat that thing, all of it, right now. Right as I'm driving, I want it to disappear. So I don't. I open it up, and I get one of the, because they're, like, cut into triangles, and I, like, fucking take a bite out of it. And then I sit down, I close the lid, and I move it back over to the seat next to me. Okay. If I go to bed now and don't eat anything, I'll probably be all right. But now what I like to do is just go home, sit, and just inhale it. Get home. I go, all right, this is getting put into a bag, and I'm going to save it for another time. I'm not eating this. It's 10:30 at night. I'm not going to eat an entire big fucking quesadilla with chicken, jalapeno, onion, and tomatoes, and with sour cream, and then just crash. Fuck that. So I've got 4 more triangles of quesadilla left. 1, 2, 3 in the bag. 4th one doesn't make it. Oh, no. I just killed it. Come here, you. This dog has the zoomies. Hang on. Come here, Peanut. Okay, though. But that's okay. Not as great as what I was doing. For me, a great day is only eat one big plate of fries, couple pieces of bacon, couple pieces of cheese, and 2 of the 5 triangles of a quesadilla from the afternoon on. That's a good day for your old pal EZ. Nick writes, a pizza is never whole by the time I get home. Oh, yeah. Road pizza's fucking great. So, all right, I consider it a moral victory, but still a loss. Today is a new day. Close the fitness ring and try to keep the car on the road. The problem is Bosco's. If I get called into Bosco's, it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Absolutely fantastic. And Doug indicated to me, he goes, yeah, I might need you here and there the next few days. I'm like, oh, fuck. I love working there. I love hanging out with those people. But what does close the fitness ring mean? Well, that is what that means is there's an app on the phone that follows you how far you're walking, and it equates that to steps. A lot of phones, even the stupid flip phone that you have, might even have something there on it. By the way, someone sent this to me. That was Kenny who wrote that, by the way. Someone said, hey, you might be able to use this one day, Eric Zane. It's a drop.
To the Kenny.
Do the Kenny?
To the Kenny.
This person lives in an area where I think there's a business called like Kenny Insurance or something like that. And on their marketing, a bunch of people singing a jingle say, do the Kenny?
To the Kenny.
And then Kenny writes, I wish someone would do the Kenny.
To the Kenny.
I know who.
To the Kenny. To the Kenny.
So now, doing the Kenny is if you're like complaining a bunch about everything. If I look at whoever, Corey's social media, and he's complaining to Pizza Hut, and then complaining to Walmart, and then complaining to, who invented Pac-Man games, Corey would be doing the Kenny.
To the Kenny.
If Patrick is, giving negative reviews and 1 stars to people and unfriending people on Facebook, he'd be doing the Kenny.
To the Kenny.
These are all things that qualify as doing the Kenny.
To the Kenny.
Thank you. You notice I got to keep it close to the vest as to who sent me that. Because if I reveal who sent me
to the Kenny,
that's going to be like war. That person will be kicked out of the Kenny clan. I've had it. How dare you send a clip of a man singing, do the Kenny?
To the Kenny.
How rude. I can't take it. Florida man writes, if you keep playing that, you'll make Amanda squirt. Oh.
To the Kenny.
I am fucked up.
Oh, I don't know where that came from. Chad Zumach checking in.
I am fucked up. And then I get fucked by two dudes.
All right. Off and running on this Tuesday, the 20th of June, edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Show number 1080. Wow. All right. Welcome. So glad you're here. So the big thing going around right now that everybody's talking about is this submarine went down to see the Titanic. Goes every so often. People with a ton of money jump in the submarine and go down to the spot where the damn wreckage of the boat is. Well, Sunday they go down and there's a bunch of rich people on it. It's $250,000 to get a seat. So now we have this 1,500 people of the 2,200 that were on it more than 100 years ago. They die. And now we've got a sub going down to see the wreckage. And as time passes, hope will be given up. And then, so that means that Titanic would be then the gift that keeps on giving at this point. If you could make the argument that if this goes the way it may, you could add 5 more to the death toll. Now, I'm not going to lie. I love whenever you see images and people going down there and they have I think James Cameron sent like a robot sub down to check it out. That was part of his big thing that he was interested in when he made the film. And, I get the idea of having the adventuring spirit, but I equate going down to see the wreckage of the Titanic to be like climbing Mount Everest. I would struggle with the dangerous element of it. Probably more so if I was on trying to climb Mount Everest. I don't think I would. I mean, that seems like really crazy. The idea of being in a sub, I possibly, if I just didn't think about it long enough, would go down and do that. But now that this has happened, I would never ever think of this again if this is the way it's going to be. If they are not able to recover this and that thing is lost at sea and then 5 people are dead. This machine is 2.5 miles down, 2.4 miles down. I don't even think we have a submersible that could go down that far. It's not like, the U.S. has a sub. I know the Navy or the Coast Guard for both countries, Canada and the U.S., they just can't. They don't have the technology to go that low. And it's not like there's a backup sub similar to the one that they can't find right now, and they can say, "Oh, let's just drop it down and go pick them up." I mean, this is fucked. The intensity of the pressure there can crush just about anything. But they've got this sub that they, okay, it's great. Come on, give us $250,000, and that's the thing. So you got a bunch of crazy ass rich people that go down in this thing. Corey says the submarines that go that low are much smaller because they have to be so much more structurally intense. Ashley says you also don't have GPS or navigation. They get texts saying, okay, go 200 feet to the right. I heard that. It's amazing, though, that they can get text messages down that low. Tyler says, I did a sub tour in Mexico on my honeymoon. I was terrified this would happen. Corey also adds, it's pitch black down there. Sunlight cannot reach that far down in the ocean. Fuck. So does that mean in due time we're going to take another one down and see this thing laying next to the Titanic? We can go and see this thing in addition to the Titanic. I would guess no one is ever going to want to do this again. Fuck. They had 96 hours of oxygen on it. Sunday it went down, and then it didn't. They're like, hey, where is this fucking thing? It's supposed to be back. Uh-oh. It's supposed to be back it lost contact an hour and 45 minutes after it went down. The vessel was reported overdue about 435 miles south of St. John's, Newfoundland, according to Canada's Joint Rescue Coordination Center in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Definitely Newfoundland. People are like, oh, that's Newfoundland. No, it's Newfoundland. The Titan was being launched from an icebreaker that was hired by OceanGate and formerly operated by the Canadian Coast Guard. The ship ferried dozens of people and the submersible craft to the North Atlantic wreckage site where the Titanic makes multiple dives. I guess they go down there, and what they do is they, like, year by year, they're, like, getting measurements and things of the holes in the iron that are being eaten by whatever is down there eating iron. There's all sorts of small little ocean life down there that is actually consuming the vessel, the wreckage. And it's, in fact, you know how, like, there's the crow's nest that the asshole was asleep at the wheel back more than 100 years ago, and he's like, oh fuck, there's an iceberg, and then it takes, like, they hard left. It goes all the way down. They did hard left. By then it's too late. Fucking ship hits the wreckage or the iceberg. You're fucked. The crow's nest has actually been consumed. It's not there anymore. And over time, this ship won't be there anymore. Is that not the most fantastic thing? My God, that's staggering to think that the Titanic has been broken down by microorganisms. So the components that made it up are now, it's interspersed throughout marine life throughout the ocean. It's just changed form from being, first it was pulled from the ground, all the components and the to make the ship, and then they make the ship, and then it sinks, and 100 years later, it's being eaten by ocean life. My God. David Concannon, an advisor to OceanGate, told the AP on Monday that the submersible had a 96-hour oxygen supply. Who was on board? Coast Guard said there was one pilot and 4 mission specialists. Now, when they say mission specialists, it's in quotes. It's rich fucks. And they say, yeah, you're going to be, give us $250,000. And you are a mission specialist. You get to, move the joystick on the camera. Mission specialists are people who pay the money. They take turns operating sonar equipment and performing other tasks in the 5-person submersible. So one of them is a billionaire. They're all very, very rich, but one, in fact, is an actual billionaire. That would be Hamish Harding. He lives in Dubai. And so he paid the $250,000. How can you imagine going down there and you're a billionaire and you're stoked about this, and you go down and on your trip down to see the Titanic, a tragedy happens, and you have a period of time that Hamish realizes this might be it. Despite all that money in the world, he would gladly trade places with any person on the planet who is not in the ocean, despite having billions of dollars. Wow. I think that this whole angle of these are all super rich people is going to actually make the world be less sympathetic to them because they're like, oh, rich fucks, who cares? It's just human nature. I know that's weird. Hamish Harding is an adventurer who holds 3 Guinness World Records, including the longest duration at full ocean depth by a crewed vessel. In March in 21, he and ocean explorer Victor Vescovo dived to the lowest depth of the Mariana Trench. And in 2022, he went into space on Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. It's interesting that more people have been on the moon than down to see the Titanic. Another one is rich dude named Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman, members of one of Pakistan's most prominent families. Their firm invests in agriculture industries and the health sector. Shahzada Dawood from Pakistan is also on the board of trustees for the California-based SETI Institute that searches for extraterrestrial intelligence. That craft, more than capable of going down 2.4 miles. It can go down further, actually. So no idea what the fuck went wrong here, if anything at all. Maybe they're just off course. I don't know. But this is since Sunday. So what is that? 4 days worth of oxygen? So that's still like in a search and rescue, but it isn't like yet where they say, well, because once it gets a certain amount of time, like, all right, now we have to go from search and rescue to recovery. Fuck. I guess they're dropping these devices down into the ocean that can hear. And it's crazy because you drop that down and they're listening for knocking because I guess one of the things that they're supposed to do in the sub if something goes wrong is knock on the inside of it. And that will somehow this very sensitive equipment going into the ocean trying to find them will be able to hear them, I guess. It can actually hear voices. So you can be under the water and hear someone talking or the sound of someone's voices. When you were a kid, you ever like be in a pool with your brother or something like that? And you both go underwater and you scream out obscenities to hear how they sound. So we would do that. You go underwater and you yell out, go fuck yourself. And then you'd come out and it's still hard to figure out what exactly you're saying. So then we'd pop our heads up and we'd have to like, hey, did you tell me to go fuck myself? Yeah. That's great. Let's go down again. Suck a horse's cock. Did you tell me to suck a horse's cock? Yeah. That's what we did for fun. I don't know about you. I don't know if they're doing that. This whole thing is terrible. Corey says, imagine screaming and knocking for days in a tiny metal box. Ugh. Ashley says those lifeboats went in the Titanic went to the rich people. It's Titanic karma. Oh, man. Corey says, a traveling Titanic museum. I went to it when it was in Boston, and they had a giant section of the hull that they recovered, and I got to see it. And when nobody was looking, I touched it. It was pretty cool. You're not even supposed to touch it. No kidding. I remember back in the day, in right around 2000, a Russian sub called the Kursk sank. Went down, killed everybody. It was like 115 dudes on that thing. Thank you to David for just subscribing. I appreciate that. The Titanic is one reason why we have so many regulations on cruise ships today. You know, what I'm learning here is I can't think of anything that I would like less than being on a vessel. And I've said this before, but it all comes together now. Constant reminders of how easy it is, you know, like with getting eaten by a shark. And yeah, I know they always say your chance of being eaten by a shark or even bit by a shark are incredibly low, but I think they're actually lying. I think that is it's a conspiracy theory. I think we'll come to find out down the road that 99 out of 100 people are eaten by sharks, and we just don't know about it. And then you have the idea of just when you're on the ocean in these boats, the fact that, for a period of time you can only be on the boat would make my fucking skin crawl. And then the idea of something going wrong on the boat. And then the idea of, I don't know, just something happening. You just fucking fall over. You always hear about somebody falling over the damn thing or falling off the balcony. Or it just seems horrible. Not very comfortable with the idea. Ashley adds, did you hear of the Orca boat? I don't know what that is. An Orca boat flipping and sinking about 3 weeks ago. No, I did not. So they continue to look for anything about this damn submarine. Holy shit. All right. Before we go a second further, I need to remind you that, if you're watching the show at Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, Twitter @Eric Zane Show, or on my YouTube channel, I'm going to kick you out. If you want the full show, you have to head over to Twitch and follow the page. And if you like, subscribe to it with your Amazon Prime account for free. Eric Zane Live when you download the Twitch app. Or just go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. As always, anybody can download the free podcast on Twitch, the entire thing, for free, and also the audio podcast, wherever you download shows. Head over to any of the audio podcasting platforms that exist today. I'm on all of them. Search Eric Zane Show and download. Subscribe to one of them or more than one of them. That all helps your old pal EZ. If you ever want to say hi, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shortliners Striping inbox. I have a Patreon, which you are encouraged to try out for free for 7 days. patreon.com/Eric Zane. Check out the show that everybody on the Free Beer and Hot Wings side are butthurt about. Ben and I reviewing clips from their shitty show and ripping it a new one. Now, I indicated on a Facebook, the Segment 18 page that, I try to keep it objective and funny. Yes, but let's be honest. This is a pile of shit show. If it were good, I wouldn't be doing this, okay? If this were a good, enjoyable, compelling, interesting, not boring radio show, I wouldn't fucking go near it. But it sucks dick. So, and, if anyone is qualified to review that show, it would be me. And I love it. It's very cathartic to rip it a new one because it sucks so bad. And my goal is to have fun doing it, get you to listen to it, and hopefully, with any luck, save you and get you out from underneath the spell that is that pile of shit waste of time. What the fuck are you doing? There's only one person on that show that has any ability to drive content, and that's Kelly. I've said this a million times. And they pay her like a fraction of what they make. She does so much more to move the needle on that show than everybody else on that show. Talk about fucking an unfair balance there. Greg and Chris make $500,000 a year, and they pay her probably like $35,000. Oh, it's so sad. Anyway, I review that show on Patreon, and you can check it out, patreon.com/Eric Zane. And you can do it for free for 7 days. Check that out, and off you go. There's a ton of other content on there, too, but I don't want to spend the whole damn day for the next hour and 19 minutes talking about me. There's plenty more to get to. Okay. Donko says, way to stir it up. Maureen says, Kelly is so damned annoying. Oh, yeah, big time. I know that. And that's because of the grating style of her voice. And but she's still funny. Has a lot of great jokes. As long as she doesn't get shrieky, you know? LV Moki says, Kelly is so annoying. I just canceled my VIP after about 12 years. Wow. Ashley says, Ashley's really chatty today. Orcas have sunk 3 boats in Europe and appear to be teaching others. Oh, orcas. You mean like a fucking whale? I thought like an orca was like a brand of boat. Fuck me. Corey adds another interesting thing to think about. Imagine being in one of the lifeboats that just left the Titanic and you're just floating there watching it sink. Oh my God, yes. Ashley adds, who are these free beers? New episode was super funny. Thank you. Kyle said the candle story. Oh my God, I laughed so hard hearing Smug Beers laugh. You must check it out for free. And then Ashley says, Chris can fuck off. Ashley said, Chris is the one that said Ashley wasn't pregnant. He either said Ashley wasn't pregnant or he said Ashley wasn't pregnant with St. Gaslight's baby. You're right. He can fuck off. That was horrible. Jesus. Play it for Tyler, easy. Does she? Oh no. Does she have an annoying laugh or something is what I know what you guys are trying to get me to do. Hang on. Brandis says, fuck off, don't do it. Cars.
Christmas, incredible. New York, come to Oregon, come here. Temperature, algorithms, incredible.
That's my favorite. Algorithms, my favorite.
Crust, cripple. That's so expensive. Yes. And I looked it up. I was like, free beer. Remember what, though? Jesus. Haven't seen it. It was a little obnoxious. That's so expensive.
You can actually hear the cancer forming in her throat with that clapped out smoker voice. That's so expensive.
That's so expensive. I looked it up. I was like, remember what, though? Jesus. Haven't seen it. It was a little obnoxious. That's so expensive. I looked it up. I was like, free beer. Jesus. Haven't seen it. Obnoxious. That's so expensive.
But she should make more money. She's the only one that does anything funny or interesting, but at the same time, it's enough. The voice is enough to make you put the barrel of a gun in your mouth. Okay? It is a boner-wrecking voice. If you have a hard-on, it's gone. The second you hear, she's got a voice for the silent moving pictures or maybe a blog. Ashley says, easy keeping boners at bay since 2023. Now, I know she smokes so much pot That maybe that's what's caused. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she had the voice of an angel. You know, like Andrea.
You're such a big black dick because I know you want to hear it.
Kelly's voice makes Andrea sound like fucking Adele. Brandis says this is torture. FML. Sorry about that. All right. I'm done with my beat up session. Enjoy the day, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.